So we're out here on the cauliflower this morning. I'm gonna cut some for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Scranton, we have a big morning loading and picking corn, so we don't want to have to do anything more than we have to make us late. Down here, this got really wet, it laid really wet, and so the cauliflower, some of it actually died off, but there's also some nice heads here that I'm picking. They're not the biggest, but they're nice. And so I'm gonna grab some of these, and then we're gonna move to the rest of the patch and see what we can find. Definitely want to get some nice purple. It's not gonna be long, the Brussels sprouts are gonna be ready. The bottom ones are pretty nice. We're probably gonna cut the tops out. That way, then the tops will get, or the upper Brussels sprouts will get bigger then. We have a lot of shoots of broccoli coming on. And I don't know why I do it with my knife. Oh, there it is. There's a decent one. There's another decent one. Not monsters, but nice. Then over here we have the self-wrapping heads. Keeps the cauliflower nice and white. So I just cut this head off. You can see how it's completely wrapped. But I can tell just by the size of it, it's beautiful underneath. I'll try and show you else off some leaves here, which usually I cut them. And just look how nice and perfect that is underneath. So it does take a little more time, but it's almost worth it because of how much nicer the cauliflower is. Now we're moving into the purple. You see how bright it is once the sun actually hits it. The thing about purple is it holds its color even after it's cooked, so it's always purple. And I think it tastes very similar to the white. Some people actually prefer it more just because it looks cooler and it tastes the same. You got a lot here though I'm gonna go through and cut now.
That is a nice one. And look who comes to join the party. Double trouble.
We got the purple and white cauliflower. Both very nice. With all the wet, cooler weather now we're having, that's just loving it. And we're out here now to the eggplant. We're gonna see how we make out with these. Last time we were here, we got some absolute giants. They're beautiful. And it looks like Frank's getting a really nice one right now. That's gorgeous. Nice color. The biggest thing is you just gotta look underneath the leaves. That's usually where the big ones hide. The biggest thing this time of year, especially with all the rain, is on the bottoms where they sit on the ground, they'll rot. Now this one doesn't have it, which is good. So Frank's right out there. I just walked back here a little ways to where we were just picking the cauliflower and the mid-season cole crops. And so for the first time this year we grew rutabagas. Then I think down there we're growing turnips, which we've grown before. Now they're not ready yet, they're very small. And I'm honestly not even quite sure the difference between a rutabaga and a turnip. When I was looking at pictures of them, they kind of look similar, but we get a lot of requests for these at market. Rutabagas, I mean. And so I know these are turnips just because of the way the leaves are. They kind of have like a little bit of like a picker on them almost. Not to where it hurts you, but you can just kind of feel it on your skin. And so right there, I don't know if you can tell any kind of difference. This is the turnip, this is the rutabaga. These kind of have more of like a waxier, smoother leaf. These are more of like a textured, pickery leaf. But at least right now, the two look very, very similar. We're getting to the time of year now where it's getting cooler. Obviously, I'm wearing a sweatshirt, which is awesome. This is my favorite time of year. We're picking not only our early season patch of like the pickles, cukes, and zooks, and well, we're just finishing up our early season patch of cole crops, but now we're on our mid-season patch of cole crops. Our late season patch is just starting, the late season patch of pickles, dukes, and cukes is now coming on. So we kind of have a lot of everything. The only thing that's kind of hurting us a little bit is that hail. So we're still dealing with that, especially in like our peppers and our tomatoes. That's the worst of it. But as far as our cole crops and like our eggplant right now, which is what we're picking, we're not seeing much hail damage there at all. Wow, that's enormous. Now we're gonna wash just 2 baskets of the Eva, which is a white potato. These are our favorite potatoes. They're just very nice and round, not scabby, not all like goofy shaped. They hold up throughout the winter very well. And this year with all the rain, they got to be a really nice size. So we're moving into bagging corn now. We're gonna do 75 altogether. This is like shell corn. A lot of people just feed it to their animals or the deer, whatever they choose. I'll show you in a little bit, but we bag it right out of the auger right there. Then we'll put it here. I get it as close to 51 pounds as I can. Then we'll weigh them to make them exact right here. And then Frank will put them right on the wagon here or the trailer where I'm gonna tie it, and then it's ready for the market. So once this thing goes to the top, it means it's too full. And we'll take some corn out. Now it's too light. And I'll just feather the corn a little bit until it gets right there. Perfect. And then he'll put it up on the wagon, where I've already tied about, I don't know, 20.
That's a nice little system you invented with the loading. Doing it like that now.
Yeah. So next morning, today's Friday, that means we're gonna be going to the Scranton Farmers Market. It's like low 40s, could even be high 30s, which is I think the coldest day yet. But I'm gonna get down here to the shed now. We're gonna start packing truck. Dad, Mom, Frank, and I are washing. Mom and Dad are packing. We have 2 bins of cantaloupe, another crates of eggplant and peppers, cabbage, watermelons over there. They got another skid going on right now, and then they have a stack of tomatoes behind that even. This is what we have to wash yet. So we're half loaded. We have the cabbage, watermelon, cantaloupe, another cantaloupe mixed with some honeydew, the pallet full of eggplant and peppers, and then in the shed we saw about 3 more skids to come on. He's wrapping one now. There's the tomato pallet and then the yellow seeded watermelon pallet. So you might as well dump it. So I just got here to the farmer's market. We got set up. We've been selling for about an hour or two, and it's been going pretty good. We got all of our extras back here in the back.
I have these two.
Can I have 6 here? Sure.
So I'm back from market. Sammy and I came out here to our cornfield. It's getting to be that time of year. People want to start decorating for fall and for Halloween. So we're gonna get some pumpkins, which is gonna be the first harvest of them for the year. And we're gonna get some corn stalks just so people can decorate their porches. We got about 4 bunches done so far. These in particular did very well. I don't exactly know how tall they are. I wanna say around 8 to 9 foot. They have really nice corn on them, but that doesn't really matter. All people really care about is the actual stalk itself. They're nice and leafy, very thick. We're putting 5 in a bunch. I don't know exactly what we're gonna sell them for, but we'll figure that out in a little bit. Sammy's tying them. She'll tie them in 2 spots. Once at the bottom right here, and then once up there. That way they don't bend and fall apart. I am going through with the loppers here and cutting them off. It's probably not the most efficient way, but it's about as good as we can do it for right now. We're not gonna get a lot, probably just about 10 bunches. There she's got one on the bottom. Now she'll tie the second one up here. And the string we're using is just binder twine from our hay bales in the barn. Our first field of large orange pumpkins were not ready. We're out here at our second field, and well, they're closer to being ready but not ready yet. There is some white ones though that are very nice, and we got to get these picked off anyway because the more these sit out in the sun, the yellower they get and then they get ugly. These right now are almost perfectly white, and this is what people want. And there's two ways we can tell these are ready. One is obviously not having any green on the outside of the pumpkin, and number two is the stem is nice and solid. It's not rubbery or anything like that. So we're gonna pick, I don't know, probably 20 or 30 of them just so we have a little display at the farm market. Wow, these are perfect.
Geez, that one was heavy. That was a big one. A little guy.
Another thing I forgot to mention is these don't get even half the size of our big pumpkins. That's just the way they are. So we just got done picking. We didn't get a lot. Mom's about to back into me here. This is all the mums we just got in. All sorts of different colors, which I'll show you them all closer up at a different time. Here's some with grasses in it. And then back here, or up here maybe I guess I should say, is a couple of the stackers, couple sugar pumpkins. There's all the whites we have on that table back there. And then here's all our corn stalks. We chose to put them there, that way they don't fall over and break and bend and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm calling it a wrap for this video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and always remember it ain't much, but it's honest work.